Hello, this is Tim Campbell with Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners to get the word out about them through my social channels and email database. This is a free service I'm providing to support the local businesses because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Greg with RSVP Indianapolis. Welcome, Greg. It's great to have you on the program today.
Good morning, Tim. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I'll go back about 25 years and try to bring you up to speed in about 2.5 minutes. My career began selling marketing services. Right out of college, went to work for a small publishing company, and from there, I had the opportunity to go to work for a startup digital company, kind of one of the early dot-coms in the mid-90s in Seattle, Washington. And I spent about 8 years with them before going to work for one of the country's largest print media companies, which is kind of counterintuitive. So I've spent my entire career selling across both print and digital media platforms to help businesses build their brands, generate traffic, increase their average ticket. And then in 2018, I had the opportunity to acquire the RSVP franchise here in Indianapolis. And so with my background, it made for a relatively easy transition in terms of sort of understanding the business and the value proposition.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit more. What is RSVP?
RSVP is a direct response marketing medium that helps businesses generate leads, retail traffic, and we do that in a unique way by selectively targeting affluent families. And we do it in a manner that is designed to induce a measurable response, typically in the form of an incoming phone call or an in-store visit or a trackable website visit. We have a signature product called our luxury card pack, which kind of that serves as the primary vehicle that we use to achieve that.
Fantastic. Wonderful. So tell me how long have you said 2 years you've owned this
2.5 years. I bought the business in January of 2018. Fantastic. And at the time it was an existing franchise, but it was just sort of limping along. It was losing money. So I jumped in, midstream and assumed the existing production schedule and have been working ever since to build the business.
Great. So Greg, who do you serve? Who's your best customer? We call that your target audience.
Yeah, I'd say the bulk of our business comes from home services contractors, understanding who our audience is. These are affluent homeowners. The median assessed home value of our audience is about $400,000. Median household income, $130,000. This is a very attractive audience. And by virtue of the fact that they own their home, they both have the means and the desire to invest in upkeep, maintenance, and improvement of that home. So the typical businesses that provide those services, when you look at the property from the street, you look at the lawn, people need their lawn cut and landscaped. They need their driveway cracks repaired. They need it sealed. They need the windows replaced from time to time, the roof, the interior, flooring, paint, furniture. All of those are services and products that are needed by our audience. But then in addition to that, dining and entertainment is a very important category for us that we serve. Again, because our audience has more discretionary income, they go out to eat, they go out for date nights more often, And so those types of businesses and venues rely on RSVP to drive foot traffic to their events and to their storefronts.
Wonderful. Fantastic. So COVID's been around much longer than all of us had hoped. Could you tell me what's been the greatest impact that that's had on your business?
It's, I guess I'll sort of positively and negatively. Negatively, it's certainly created a higher hurdle in terms of being able to engage and build rapport with prospective advertisers. Much of that now is being done virtually, whether it's through a Zoom call or a telephone call. Many of the in-person events that provided opportunities for more face-to-face interaction have gone away. And so we've just had to work a little bit harder to communicate the value of our services remotely. I would say on a positive note, it really forced me in my business to take a real hard look at our expenses and the way that we were distributing our product. Prior to COVID, we were distributing 120,000 of our postcard packs. And since then, we've reduced that down to 80,000. But it's the 80,000 most popular. It's the 80,000 packs that carry the most advertising support. So while our revenue has taken a bit of a hit this year, we're actually going to end up being more profitable.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a nice silver lining.
Yeah. So, Greg, outside of the cost savings, have you had to do anything else, or have you done anything else to pivot and make a difference during this time? And if so, how's that been working for you?
Well, we've had to because support from restaurants and entertainment venues it's pretty tough to squeeze a nickel out of a restaurant these days, understandably so. So we've had to work harder to replace that revenue from our home services contractors, but we've also continued to pursue restaurants really in a different manner, much more so as good citizens and strategic partners, understanding our restaurants, that those offers are what really drive readership to our product. So it's important that we find a way to feature them. And so that has, in order to get their participation, we've discounted our rates. We're accepting a disproportionate amount of our compensation in the form of trade or gift cards. So that limits restaurants' out-of-pocket expenses and allows them to promote their business and help accelerate with the recovery, and it improves the quality of my product. So it's really a win-win.
Yeah, that's a great example of a pivot, Greg. Thanks for sharing that with me. I've worked with a lot of business owners who have, kind of felt stuck during this time and not know where to go, and have talked through with them, offering free pivot strategy sessions to come up with solutions similar to what you've just shared with us. So thanks for sharing that. I'm sure that will inspire others who are listening to this to think of different ways to continue to move their business forward. So here's an interesting question. It's been said smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. What mistakes did you make along the way, and how can other entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
I learned a couple things in the past, 18 months maybe, that have really impacted my business. And I would say that the first would be just simply the as a first-time business owner who comes from a sales background. I realized that there were two sides to the balance sheet, and it can't be all about top line sales. You have really got to watch and manage your expenses and be really kind of brutal when it comes to slashing any expenses that aren't directly contributing to your profit, especially in the early stages. And then I would say, another thing that I learned, this is just a kind of a simple sales tactic that I learned from a friend of mine who's a sales trainer here locally, Rob Lime, who encouraged me to adopt a different voicemail strategy. Whereas before I might call up someone and I would say, "Hey, Tim, it's Greg Thomson with RSVP. I'd like to talk to you about this and that and yada, yada." And none of those calls ever get returned. And I changed that to simply saying, "This is Greg Thomson, 317-809-3622. Thanks." And that's it. And it is uncanny how many of those calls get returned. I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40% of those calls get returned. And so that's made a direct impact on my sales effectiveness.
Wow, that's a great tip. Thanks for sharing. Awesome. So second to last question here. I've got your contact information that I'll make sure to include when I post this video. Is there anything else that you'd like me to add, like an offer or anything like that?
Well, we have two more editions scheduled for 2020. We mail the week of September 7th and again the week of October 19th. And through October, we have a package deal. We're offering up to 35% off our standard rates with monthly payment options. So in the end, advertisers can insert in our pack, reach up to 80,000 affluent homeowners for less than 3.5 cents a home.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'll make sure to include that when I send this information out. So last question here, Greg. Tell me, what has been most inspiring to you in today's environment?
I just had I had coffee last week with a gentleman who owns about 4 dozen Jiffy Lube franchises here in Indiana. And he was talking to me about how he is providing his employees opportunities to better themselves financially and providing education opportunities for them and really coaching them on how to better manage their money. And I was really inspired by how seriously he took his position as a business owner to not just grow his profits for the sole purpose of lining his pockets, but he was really making generational change in the lives of his employees. And as I grow my business and bring on more employees, I hope to be able to do something like that.
That is a great story. Thank you for sharing. So that concludes our interview today. I'd like to invite you and all of the folks that are listening to this to take advantage of a free coaching session with me to talk through in more detail pivot strategies or how to take the business to the next level. This offer is available to anyone that's watching. Greg, thanks again for your time today. I appreciate your insights and wish you all the best as you continue to navigate through this craziness.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too. Take care now.
All right.